Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Round 7. How you doing? Today we got a good one for you. DarkIceWave brings us his defense, and we've got some interesting stuff going on with Team 1, a whole bunch of ideas coming out of chat, and if you want to be a part of that conversation, be sure to catch me live on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 to noon, or 9 to like 11:30. We used to jet out of here a bit early. We grade on 5 different criteria. It's who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISOs, and what kind of mood I am in. Team 1 right here is the Mercs with Dr. Octavius and Ultron. Now, I kind of think Ultron is the bad choice over here if he had a whole bunch of red stars. Maybe it would be something to do, but we talked about maybe replacing Ultron with Green Goblin. That defense down on spawn would be something. Doc Ock and Merc Riot Guard over here have this weird combo of deflects going to each other, and I think that's kind of going to be wasted because we may not be targeting Doc Ock or Riot Guard right off the bat. So I would like a placement change where somebody else is getting the deflex off of Riot Guard rather, put Riot Guard and Doc Ock in the back, probably something like that. Maybe putting Taskmaster in the center so he's being healed and getting all those deflects and whatnot. Some other creative choices were to put in Cap Sam and Maria Hill instead of those two on this team. Those deflects with Maria's abilities, there's a lot of healing going on. Cap Sam drawing that taunt, so hopefully they don't kill Taskmaster right off the bat, and then Taskmaster can really just wreck shop as those Mercs take their turns with Lieutenant giving the speed up. So there's something, and if you don't want to pull them off your SA, I understand, but you could replace them on your SA team with Red Guardian and Black Widow to speed that team up. So there's some options of some things to move around. We also talked about more of a like putting Vulture in here to slow the opponent down, getting more speed on this team. Vulture having some synergy with Ultron, that sort of stuff. So there's some ideas, but really what's going to happen is that this Underworld team is going to come out, and we're going to start doing a Merc hybrid with Underworld. Mr. Negative doing a lot of stuff, and Kingpin. Kingpin is actually very clutch on this team. All his summons coming in, giving mass speed to Taskmaster. Doing a lot. We're seeing some huge punch-ups or some huge punch downs coming into this team, and Taskmaster still catching them off guard. As for your ISOs, I do like Skirmisher on Taskmaster being called for the assist. However, there are no Mercs with Striker, so there's no triple tap combo. You might consider making Taskmaster a Raider on this build, so he puts out more vulnerables. Also, you could run Taskmaster as a Striker, making your Merc minions Skirmishers. Those are some other choices. Not a lot of waste going on here. They're just war ready. This is more of just a trial and error team, and I think DarkIceWave can try a bunch of different things. Personally, I'm not excited about the Ultron Doc Ock combo, and I don't like the placement on this team. I'm going to give it a B-. I think there's a lot of other options that we can do. All right, moving on to team number 2 is a Heroes for Hire. Pretty standard. The only thing I don't like about this is that Iron Fist is a healer, and every counter that goes into this has tons and tons of heal blocks, so it's a total wasted ISO. You're better off with a Skirmisher or a Raider. This is an A- for me. Moving on to team number 3 is the Marauders with Madeline Pryor. Madeline Pryor having some stars and some investment in her, so she might survive long enough to actually do some double taps with that Striker ISO. So we definitely don't want to waste Strife as a fortifier. He gets absolutely nothing from that until the 2.5 level, blue ISO comes out. There's just no benefit to that. His kit basically does everything that the ISO does. So make him a healer, make him a Skirmisher, make him a Raider, make him anything but a fortifier. Placement on this is okay. I prefer putting Emma next to Strife because she can tank that splash damage and heals right back up, and that way the evades, the deflects, all those things on Mystique get passed off to Sinister. He can spread them to the rest of the team. So placement tweak, definitely an ISO change. I'm going to go B+ on this team. Again, I don't really like this team. For those of you who are new to the game, don't try and build these characters. They're outdated, and Madeline Pryor should have been made farmable the day she released in order to get the value out of her, because she just doesn't work until she's at the highs, yellow and high red stars. The Unlimited team. Okay, let's put Gambit over to the side. We're going to swap places with Gambit and Firestorm, and then, wait, is that it? No, we want to go from left to right. We want to go Gambit, Firestorm, Dazzler, Phantom X, and Rogue. Gambit is fine as a raider. He's great as a raider, actually. You can use Firestorm as a raider, but a lot of people like him as a striker because of that piercing damage on his basic. It's a lot of piercing damage. And with so many people being raider and no strikers on this team, you're going to get, a double tap on like every one of his moves. So let's get a placement tweak. Let's do that ISO swap. Some people like running Rogue as a striker. I don't think we should be doing that. I think it's necessary that she is a skirmisher. She does have a very good basic, but we are in a resistance meta where you've got to get things to land, and it's more important that she lands those negative effects. So I like skirmisher on Rogue in this. I'm going to go B+ with this. Let's change those 2 features and move on to team number 5, which is your Wakandans. Everything looking good here. Oh, except the placement. Let's swap places with Killmonger and Okoye. That'd probably be good enough. The best placement for this power level of build would be M'Baku, Killmonger, Shuri, Black Panther, and then Okoye, I think would be the absolute best placement. But the ISOs are good. You're just gonna be a little troublesome. You're not gaining any benefit. You want Killmonger to get hit. He'll retaliate with his counters. Or if your Black Panther is big enough, you can put him next to M'Baku and he make sure he gets hit and gets those charges to do what he needs to do. But I don't like this placement. A- there. Team number 6 is the Asgardians. Everything great with this team, except we could tweak the placement. There's a case to be made for putting Heimdall next to Sif, but personally, I think we should put one of the 3-piece over here next to Sif. That way, you're breaking up that hot target of 3. A lot of people can get in and do a lot of damage to those 3, especially if they're using that, I think it's unlimited, or not unlimited, it's uncanny with Beast. It's a counter that works against this because Beast will flip the defense up into defense down, and then Storm will nuke the team. And if you have all 3 of them like that, it presents a really juicy target. So let's get that placement tweak there. A- on that team. Team number 7 is a new warrior with Coulson and Surfer. Nothing wrong with this team. You could run Coulson as a raider, putting out the vulnerables for Surfer to double tap into in case Surfer gets a negative effect. He'll have a chance to get rid of that and clear it. But honestly, you've got 2.5 people putting out vulnerables with the new warrior kits. So even though there's 3-2, there's enough opportunities for your strikers to work well. And the turn meter rewind off of Coulson's basic is really good too. So either way you want to go works for me. It's a war ready character on Coulson, so you're not wasting anything there. I think it's a good job. I can give you an A for this team. Other people might put Deathpool next to Dagger to get that offensive up, but it works great on Surfer as well. I think it's pretty good here. Moving on to team number 8 is the Young Avengers. We were talking about this in the last video. I love this placement. I like the ISOs a lot. Kate Bishop needs to be a skirmisher to make sure that those blinds land. But this is the placement that I prefer. We're now putting Miss Marvel in the corner in hopes of drawing the Dark Hunters into this team rather into the H for H. That's why she goes in the corner. It's a liability, but it's a lure. So I like the lure placement here. Let's change that 1 ISO, A- there. Team number 9 is the Web Warriors. Everything done right. I like the placement. I like the ISOs. Good job there. A for that team. Although, remember, Bionic Avengers absolutely destroys this team. Like a 700 Bionic Avengers could probably take this out. Just about autos the team. So you want to think about that when you're placing that defense. Do you want to be drawing the Bionic Avengers for any reason? There are a lot of other teams that also beat the Web Warriors now. So, but I mean, it's a team that we have to build. So do you use them on offense? If the answer is no, this is the place and this is the way. Team number 10 is the Dorm Hold defense. Now, we have MLF as a skirmisher. I think there are enough stars on MLF. We could switch her over to a striker, especially with Agatha calling her for the assist. I think striker is the way to go. I prefer her as a striker with that kind of star level and investment on it. So it's really up to you, but I notice a difference and I'm recommending striker there. Also, Dormammu on defense is not such a great idea. We have Red Hulk out there now and he just deletes that revive mechanic, and they can put Red Hulk on a team, on a Gamma team, and come into this, remove the revive off of MLF and kill her quickly, something like that. So I'm not sure that Dormammu on defense is the way to go. I think that the Darkhold team as a 4 or 5 piece, like with Emma or Scarlet Witch, is just as effective at drawing in some teams, and that's probably the way we want to go now. Dormammu being a very good offensive toon at this point in the game. I like all the other ISOs. The placement is good. Yeah, this is fine. Another trick that you can do is Agatha only calls 1 assist on war defense, so you could swap places with Agatha and MLF to put MLF off to the side if you want to. Also, when Darkhold goes into this team and Dormammu is on it, MLF spreads some stuff, and she won't be able to spread it to Dormammu unless you target Dormammu, and he has a chance of resisting all that stuff, and then it goes nowhere. So it's a very frustrating positioning. I like Dormammu in the center if that's what you're going to do. For me, there's a few tweaks to be made, and I don't like Dormammu on defense. So I'm going to go A- on this. It's not really all that bad. Okay, if you like what you saw, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. And if you want your team featured on Defense Up, links are in the description. Be sure to send me 3 picks. I'll put you on the list, and we'll get that going. Remember, folks, don't just have a good game. Be good to yourselves and others, too, and I'll see you next time. Bye.